Hello. It's good to see you. We are back with my story that I wrote titled Holiday, and we are up to chapter 43. And I'm going to see how much reading I can do tonight. It's a Friday night, and why not? So, yeah, we're going to get right into it here. So again, we are starting with chapter 43. I was knee-deep in frustration when the doorbell rang. It had been an evening of crappy greeting card ideas that went nowhere beyond a bunch of wadded-up pieces of paper on the floor. The doorbell rang again almost immediately. "All right," I said, getting up and kicking balls of paper out of the way. "Hold your dang horses. I opened the door. Something about the look on Aiden's face made me forget what I was saying. He stood there on the step just staring at me. I think he was trembling a bit. I reached out and took his arm. "It's okay," I said, gently guiding him inside. "Come in." He looked me in the eye. We were face to face. "I'd like that," he said. "Can I—" He stumbled and I caught him. "Wow, you're light. I guess that makes sense, what with you not having an actual body and all. Let's sit here." I helped him ease down onto the sofa. "Do you think it'd be better if you sat up or laid down?" "Sitting up would be better." He grabbed my hand. "With you right beside me." Okay, I'm not going anywhere." He held onto my hand. Neither of us said anything for several minutes. I got the feeling that we needed to just let the silence be for a bit. I placed my other hand on top of his. We sat close enough together for our legs to touch. Slowly, gradually, I felt him relax. He looked around the room. "Are you feeling any better?" I finally asked. He squeezed my hand, but he still didn't let go. "Yes, I am," he said. "Thank you." "I've never seen you like this before. Did something happen? Can we just sit here for a moment?" He looked at me. "Will you hold my hand?" "I am holding your hand." He looked down at our hands, almost as if he was seeing them for the first time. He seemed puzzled. "Here," I said, and I grasped his other hand too. Our four hands sat on my right leg and his left, all clasped together in a ball. That's got it. The house was completely silent. A car drove past on the street outside every now and then. I was determined to stay there as long as he needed me. He seemed to be staring at the coffee table. As the time passed, he looked around a bit more. Then, after 10 minutes, I couldn't see a clock from where I was, he sighed and relaxed the grip on my hands a little. "Thank you," he said, looking at me. "You look, I don't know, more normal, like you've recharged your battery and you're okay again. Are you?" "I'm definitely improving." I held on to him, but I freed my right hand to rub his back. It felt like the right thing to do. "I've had a strange evening," he said. "I'm not sure what's wrong or why I feel this way. Something isn't right." He turned a bit to face me. "It didn't just start today, and I have a feeling it's not about to end. Litty, I have a question for you." "What is it?" "I need you to be with me, especially when I deal with Jerry." "Jerry? Oh, God, no. Please consider it. I wouldn't ask you, but I'm sick." "Excuse me?" "I'm not well, Litty. I need your help." "So what? How does an angel get sick? I've never heard of any such a thing." "I don't mean sick in the way you understand sickness," he said. "At the moment, I appear to be incapable of carrying out my duties without assistance. You don't have to really do anything or interact with Jerry at all. I just need you by my side." "I don't understand how me just being there by your side really does anything, though. Like what? Am I supposed to just keep holding your hand everywhere we go?" He thought about it for a moment and then nodded. "Well, that—" I stopped rubbing his back and made a move to stand up, but he grabbed my hands quickly, like a drowning man reaching out for something, anything. "Please, no," he said. "Please stay here. Let me touch you." This was getting too weird for me. Aiden, you've got to tell me what's going on. You're scaring me. I don't mean to, and I'll be okay. Just please sit here with me. Your touch, it's helping, I promise. Did Jerry do something to you somehow? Or is this something totally unrelated to him? I'm not sure. It all started a few days ago. When I'm with Jerry, something comes over me. I catch myself doing and saying things. I'm just not myself. Being here with you, like this, centers me. You asked if I had recharged my battery, and in a way I have. It's hard to explain, but whatever's going on, this dis-ease, you appear to be the cure. He stopped and thought for a moment and then added, or at least a really effective remedy. What made you think to come over here? He looked down at the coffee table again. I didn't know what else to do, Litty. And I figured that if I'm going to feel lost, I'd rather do it here with you. At least then I can see a smiling face. I blushed. I have work to do. We can't forget about that. Aiden glanced over at the dining room table. You appear to be in good shape. Good shape? I wish. See for yourself. I looked back at my seat at the table. All the wads of paper were gone, and a neat stack of documents had mysteriously landed on my chair. What did you do? I stood up, and Aiden rose too, still holding my hand. I looked at him. Are you coming? Let's go see what's over there. In my chair were hundreds of draft cards. Hundreds. And they were all good. Some were funny, some were encouraging, some were romantic. Every single one of them was better than anything I'd been able to do or come up with in weeks. This is cheating, I said after leafing through them. This makes my job too easy. I could very easily get used to this, which is a bad thing. Why is it bad? Do you honestly think your employer cares as long as you provide a good product? It's not about my employer. It's about feeling okay with myself, and I don't know if I can do that if you're the one doing it for me. He held up our clasped hands. Take a look at this, he said. This is good work. You're providing a valuable service to me, and in exchange, I take care of this little task for you. I think it's a fair trade. But that's not all I do. You think that's the only thing that occupies my mind all day? Hardly. I have my True Vegan Living articles, the Daily Howl vlog. I'm aware of your other obligations, Aiden said, a little smile creeping into the corners of his lips. It's all taken care of. Just like that. He nodded. Just like that. I looked around the room, but not really at anything in particular. So you're just going to run my life for me, do all the work, and in exchange, all I have to do is walk around holding your hand? You don't have to do it all the time. He smiled like he meant it that time, but I wouldn't mind if you did. Chapter 44. Jerry was pacing back and forth on the rooftop patio when Gabriel appeared. He watched Jerry for a moment before making himself known, admiring Jerry's form and his graceful movements. Aiden's truly performed a miracle with this one, Gabriel muttered. Jerry? Jerry turned and let out a gasp of surprise at the sight of his friend. Man, am I glad to see you. This has been just the craziest night. Aiden was here a little while ago, and I think he tried to pop my head off. What? Are you sure? That doesn't sound like Aiden. I know, but he's been really flaky lately, like acting really weird. Gabriel nodded. I understand. Maybe he's just overworked. I mean, you can't burn your candle at both ends forever. What do you mean? Well, I'm sure you've noticed by now that he's absent a good deal of the time. Surely you don't assume that's normal. He paused, looking Jerry in the eye. Do you? Don't start on that whole we hate Aiden 'cause he's somewhere else thing again. Do you have it in for him or something? Why are you always busting his balls? Jerry started laughing. Angel balls. Do y'all have balls? It just sickens me to see a fellow angel not doing his job. Didn't it bother you to see people slacking off at Best Buy? Best Buy. Man, I haven't thought about that place in ages. Well, except for the time I sent that guy Daniel over there to pick up some stuff for the home theater. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It used to piss me off. You see people get away with stuff at work. Like this one guy, Mark. Damn, I hated that guy. He worked days with me, and he was the district manager's son. Like, damn, dude. He'd go in a break room and just straight up sleep. Like, he didn't care who saw him in there because... Jerry, Gabriel sighed. Not now, okay? I always enjoy your stories and all those minute details that add nothing, but maybe you could save it for later. Okay, Jerry said, popping open a can of beer. What's up? First off, are you okay? Gabriel asked. Me? Yeah. Aiden had me shook up pretty good earlier, though. I had to ask him to leave. It was just so bizarre. So do you know where he went? No, I told him to go see an angel shrink, so maybe that's where he is. Angel shrink, Gabriel said, staring off into space. That would certainly explain it. Explain what? Nothing. Hey, Jerry, do you know how you were discussing the charity dinner with Aiden earlier? Yeah. What if we move that up a bit? I know you have that book tour with Aiden, but wouldn't it be great to have a fancy soiree at your place one evening? Perhaps we could do it as both a charity fundraiser and a way to celebrate your book. What do you think? What's the hurry, though? Aiden's working out all the details for the book tour right now, or I assume he is. He probably wouldn't appreciate me throwing a wrench in the gears like that. Gabriel took Jerry's beer from him. So you're telling me that Aiden, the guy who said he could pop your skull like a grape, how'd you know he used those words? Were you here? Gabriel threw the can of beer into the pool. Stop changing the subject. Who's really in charge here, Jerry? Is it Aiden or is it you? Jerry looked back and saw the beer can bob up and down in the water. I mean, the way I look at it, answer me, you or Aiden? I guess me? Louder. It's me. Louder. Me. Damn right it's you. Now when are we having that dinner party, Jerry? Whenever I damn well say we're having it. Gabriel clapped him on the back. That's exactly right. They headed toward the stairwell leading down to Jerry's apartment. Look, you may just have to accept the fact that Aiden's not up to the job. Okay? Maybe it's time you and I took the bull by the horns, so to speak. Jerry started to open the stairwell door and then paused to turn back to Gabriel. What are you saying? And we? Are you talking about you and me? Like you're taking Aiden's place? You want to be with Amber, right? Amber, Jerry said. What's she got to do with anything? She has everything to do with everything, Gabriel said. You may not be able to see it, and Aiden's never here, so I know he doesn't, but you're losing her. You need to involve her more in the things that are going on in your life. This book, being on CNN, it really threw her for a loop that you didn't tell her about that beforehand. Some mystery can be intriguing, but if you take it too far, you can draw people away. You lose that connection, that intimacy. Aiden says we're fine. He said everything was okay. Are you telling me it's not? Gabriel nodded. Now you're getting it. Aiden's not quite with it at the moment. Who knows how long it'll last? Maybe he'll be fine and dandy by morning. Or maybe he won't. Do you really want to put your future in the hands of such an unpredictable guide? No, Jerry said, and then he thought about it for a minute. He straightened up, looked Gabriel in the eye, and said, No, I don't. Excellent. Gabriel opened the door to the stairwell and motioned for Jerry to go down. Then let's go plan our dinner party. Chapter 45. Aiden waited until the following morning to go back to Jerry's apartment. He even requested entry from the lobby and waited to be let in, unlike his normal habit of just appearing in the living room or wherever Jerry happened to be. Jerry was still in his robe when he met Aiden at the elevator. Look at you, Jerry said. Up all early and stuff. He eyed Aiden carefully. Are you any better than you were yesterday? I don't appreciate being told that you could pop my head like a grape. That's some scary stuff, man. You're supposed to be here to help me." Aiden nodded in agreement. "Absolutely, and I'm here to apologize for that. I definitely wasn't myself yesterday, and I do apologize. It won't happen again. I'm going to see to it that it doesn't. Do you forgive me?" Jerry thought about it for a minute, rubbing his chin. "I guess, but don't do that again or we're going to have some problems. We can't have a relationship like that. Dr. Phil said so. Okay? You got it. And I also want to apologize for those awful posters that I made. I figured that if you're not busy this morning, we could redo them. I also wanted to discuss the dinner party. Was there a particular theme?" "Oh, the posters," Jerry said. "You don't need to worry about that. I redid them last night after you left." "You redid them? What do you mean?" I made new ones. Come look." They approached the dining room table. Aiden's posters were gone, and new ones had taken their place. They were truly amazing. Aiden stared in disbelief at them. "I'm not calling you a liar," he said without looking up. "But really? You made these?" What are you saying?" Jerry asked. "That they're too good for some doofus like me to make? 'Cause if so, I think I'm insulted right now." "I need Litty here for this," Aiden muttered. "What?" "Nothing. Actually, these posters remind me of something I've been meaning to talk to you about. For the people I work with, I like to offer something special, something unique, just to you. We should try to figure out what that something is going to be for you." "I have no idea what you're getting at, Aiden. Like, literally no idea. You're not going off the deep end again, are you?" Aiden smiled tensely. No. What I mean is, I'd like to offer you something that makes you really stand out. A lot of the people we work with choose talents or attributes that leave everyone speechless. Perhaps it's your singing or the way you dance, just something that leaves people scratching their heads wondering how you do it. "The way she sings, nobody can sing like that." That sort of thing. Jerry ran his hand over one of the posters, remembering Gabriel creating them, but keeping that bit of information to himself. A talent or attribute? Shoot. He opened up his robe and looked down. "Attribute, you say?" Aiden rolled his eyes. "Please. I spent too much time in that area with my last person. I can say from experience that there aren't too many ways to showcase that particular talent or attribute." "Come on." "I already modified it, Jerry. We're done." "Modified it how?" "It doesn't list to port anymore, does it?" "Fine, whatever. So what else is there?" "Oh, maybe I could have a shoe line or hair care products, skin care, stuff like that." "Absolutely not," Aiden said. "That is way overdone. You only see that when the angel has no imagination. It's lazy, just like the lack of history that we discussed before. They just pop up out of nowhere, and all of a sudden everybody knows them, and then for no reason they're making shoes or purses or some other ridiculous line of things. They wander about all day, day after day, complaining about how busy they are and how no one appreciates all the work that they have to do to keep up with everything. It's just all so tiresome." "So what else is there?" Jerry said. "Could we do the singing thing? That'd be cool." "I just don't see you as the singer type," Aiden said. "But these posters, you really have some talent, obviously. I don't know why I didn't see it before. Anyway, how would you like to become a famous artist? Add that shiny new arrow to your quiver, so to speak." "That's not really unique, though. There are tons of artists out there." "Ooh, I know. What if I could fly? That'd be a neat superpower." "We're not talking about superpowers, Jerry. Maybe supersonic speed?" "Jerry, stop. X-ray vision?" "Jerry!" "Sorry." He tied his robe back up. "I'd really like that one, though." "Okay, what if I could throw really well? That's not a superhuman thing to do." "I'm sorry? Throw? What do you mean?" "Like I could hit anything from any distance. I could pick up a rock or a ball or whatever and bam, make it go exactly where I wanted it to go. Aiden turned and looked outside. He thought about it for a moment and then sighed. Jerry, that's a terrible choice. Honestly, it's awful. Ha! Shows what you know. Think about all those big shot ball players. I bet they'd think it was pretty impressive. Are you saying that you want to be a famous ball player? No. Why, could I? That goes beyond the scope of what I'm willing to offer. People have sold their souls just for that one thing alone. Well, how about you just pick something for me? Actually, it sounds like you already have. Jerry flopped his arms down by his sides in a tired, pouty manner. Go ahead, make me an artist. He closed his eyes, stood stock still, and waited. When nothing appeared to happen after a few seconds, he opened his eyes and looked at Aiden impatiently. Well, what are you waiting for? What do you mean? It's already done. Already? How? It's not that complicated, Jerry. Bippity-boppity-boo, you're the next Rembrandt. What can I do? Do I paint or draw or what? Aiden cocked his head to the side and studied Jerry for a moment. I see you more as a painter. You can draw fairly well, but painting really is your strong suit. Cool. Can I do some painting? I want to see what magic you cooked up for me. Aiden bristled. It's hardly magic. Nothing so trite and superficial. I didn't mean it like that, Aiden. He smiled. You're the magic man. You know you are. Just look at everything you've done for me. I really appreciate it. Everything. Okay, I'm glad you like it all. It's a lot of work, but I'm happy if you're happy. Now let's go up on the roof. What for? Aiden smiled. You'll see. They climbed the stairs up to the roof, and Jerry was surprised to see that part of the space had been converted to an art studio of sorts, with a cover over various carts and shelves of art supplies, including paints, easels, canvases, and brushes. Holy shit! Jerry clapped his hands together and ran toward one of the canvases. He propped it up on an easel and then stood back to look at it. Damn, this thing is huge. What can I paint on it? Aiden laughed. Anything you like. He gestured to the city below. I give you the world. Oh, wow. Aiden picked up a large palette and started looking through a drawer of oil paints. Which of these colors speak to you? Jerry squinted at the collection of colors and put his hands on his hips. Without looking up, he snapped his fingers at Aiden. Let me have that palette. I'm going to get at this. He selected several colors and put them on the palette. You have fun, Aiden said. Litty's on her way up to the elevator now. I'll go downstairs to greet her. Jerry was already working on a painting of the downtown Greensboro skyline and wasn't listening. Uh-huh. Hey, look at this. It's so weird. It's like my hand just knows what to do, like it's on autopilot or something. I feel like a robot is taking over my arms. Look! He was adding detail to some trees. This is amazing. Indeed. Listen, we need to discuss your dinner party. If we're going to incorporate your new book, we'll have to plan to do it very soon. The book tour... Screw that, Jerry said. This right here? The painting thing? Oh, this is way more impressive than any stupid book. Aiden looked down at the floor and then back at Jerry. I was pretty proud of that book, Jerry. You said you were going to read it. Are you? I thought we were going to celebrate it at the party. Oh, what? Oh, sure. That's cool. Hey, go get Litty and let her see what I'm doing up here. And can you get Amber over here too? Like, summon her or something? With what, a Ouija board? She's not a demon or your long-dead grandmother. Pick up your phone and summon her yourself. I'm going to go meet Litty now. Aiden made it downstairs just as the elevator doors opened. Litty stepped out, looking frustrated. What's the matter? Aiden asked. The doorman down in the lobby. He gave me the third degree about why I was here and whether or not Jerry was expecting me. I thought he was going to pat me down and make me go through a metal detector before he'd let me come up here. Aiden smiled. Was he a tall man, mid-50s or so? Yeah, why? Don't worry, he'll never do that again, Litty gasped. Oh no. Did you? She made a slashing motion across her throat. No, I just convinced him that it won't be necessary to ever do that to you again. How do you do that? It's a bit like rewiring his brain. When he sees you in the future, his brain will get the message that there's no need to detail or delay you. You're safe. But I am safe. He's just doing his job, Litty. Fair enough. Litty looked around. Where's Jerry? Is he out? No, he's up on the roof playing with his latest toy. Latest toy? Something he bought or something you gave him? It was a gift from me. A special talent. Come upstairs with me and I'll show you. Litty took a step back. It's not something perverted, is it? Of course not. Hey, it's Jerry. That's a fair question. Aiden took her hand. Litty felt a tingle, a small quiver of energy run up her arm to her neck. It was startling and wonderful at the same time. Just come on, Aiden said with a smile, looking into her eyes. He felt it too. Litty was a bit confused at first. The term talent stuck in her head, and for some reason she started thinking about beauty contests. Maybe he was up there yodeling or spinning plates on sticks. Seeing Jerry dancing around on the roof didn't help her confusion at all. He was holding a palette and a paintbrush. Has he gone insane? She whispered to Aiden. What's he doing? Aiden gave her a nudge. Go see. Check out my handiwork. Jerry saw her and motioned for her to come over. Hey, come look at what I just did. It's my first painting since maybe 5th grade, and it's a masterpiece. Litty gasped at the painting. My God, Jerry, you did the skyline. That's beautiful. Yeah, and the whole thing didn't even take 10 minutes. Hey, Aiden, I'm thinking we need to tweak this talent a little bit. Why? What's wrong with it? It's too fast. I like the result and all, but shoot, even Bob Ross needed 30 minutes to do a kick-ass painting. Can you slow it down a little bit? I suppose, but doesn't that make it even more special? Jerry set the palette and brush down inside. Aiden, you have to understand people. Aiden scoffed. I have to understand people. I've spent thousands of years dealing with people, Jerry. I hardly think you're in any position to tell me. Oh, okay, no, listen to me. People want to see works in progress. If you can just churn them out every 10 minutes, people won't appreciate them as much. They'll appreciate it about as much as they appreciate a microwave. Litty stifled a laugh. Oh my God, but Jerry, I love my microwave. Jerry ignored her. People can really see what goes into a rack of lamb, right? Or a souffle or a cheesecake. When it comes out of the oven, people ooh and ah. There ain't nothing coming out of a microwave that's going to bowl anybody over. Aiden threw up his hands. It's done, Jerry. It's no big deal. I disagree, but it's done. No more 10-minute masterpieces for you. How long do you think they should take? Jerry thought about it for a minute and then said, I'd make it take 6 hours at least, broken up into sessions. I could have multiple paintings in various stages of completion, and that make it look more authentic too. No offense, Aiden said, but I can't see you sticking with it that long. I wouldn't go past an hour. You'll get bored. An hour. Jerry stared at his painting. He pointed at it. Okay, but can you make people believe I spent a lot more time on it than that? That'll make it more believable. Sure, we can do that. Litty tugged at Aiden's shirt sleeve. Why did you want me here? Just for this? It's cool and all, but you don't seem to actually need me for anything. Aiden gestured to Litty to wait and then turned back to Jerry. We need to discuss your dinner party and work out the details. Jerry was already propping up another blank canvas. The party? What's there to plan? Just set everything up and tell me when I need to be there. Aiden watched him paw through a bunch of tubes of paint. He squeezed some black oil paint onto a clean palette. Are you giving me free rein on this party? Aiden asked. Ooh, that would be fun, Litty said. Let's do a party with a 60s theme, like hippies and peace signs and stuff. That sounds good, Jerry said. Just Yeah, and set it up soon, like you said. Aiden turned to Litty. A 60s theme, huh? He smiled. I bet you'd really enjoy that. I would. Too bad I don't have that Volkswagen bus anymore. That'd be cool to roll up in, all dolled up. Hey, Aiden. Yes? Let's go shopping. She grabbed his hand and dragged him toward the stairs. I knew the perfect place. Can we go now? He laughed as she pulled and rambled excitedly about fringed vests and bell-bottoms. Anything you want, Litty. Chapter 46. Aiden found a parking spot right by the front door of the Angry Aardvark. He removed his sunglasses and studied the artwork on the front of the building. This place is interesting, he said. Is that a picture of a... Is it a turtle? What is that? Where? Litty squinted at the mural. Oh, that right there? No, that's an aardvark. Can't you tell? Not really. The tuxedo and pork pie hat threw me off. Oh, I see it now. So is this a good place for hippie outfits? The best, Litty said, unbuckling her seatbelt and opening the car door. Come on. The front doors were propped open, with the blue and brown beaded curtains separating the outside world from the goods inside. Aiden reached up and held back the strings of beads so Litty could enter. Look at this place, Litty gasped. I always love coming in here. Oh, look at that skirt. She flitted around the store for about 10 minutes, gasping and oohing and ahhing at so many things. She was too busy to notice Aiden following along behind her, unable to stifle the big smile on his face. The prices aren't too crazy either, she said, holding up a fringed crossbody bag. It's not all genuine vintage stuff. Like, a lot of it is just new stuff made to look old, but I don't care. It's all cool to me. Don't worry about prices, Aiden said. The party is for Jerry, so everything is on me today. Litty held a dress up in front of herself and checked the length. Oh, I don't know about that, she said. You know I don't feel comfortable with you paying for things. I can take care of it. Aiden took the dress from Litty and hung it on a nearby rack. He held her hands, forcing her to focus on him for a moment. Money is inconsequential, he said. I could buy this entire store 10 times over for you. I'm not saying that to brag or to impress you. It's just, when we're together, I never want you to have to worry about anything. Just relax and have a good time. Okay? Litty looked away and pretended to focus on a table of incense sticks. I mean, it's no big deal, I guess. You know, it makes me feel weird having other people do stuff for me. He lightly grasped her chin and turned her face back to his. I'm not other people. That's an understatement, she said. Good. So we're in agreement? Okay. Is that a yes? Aiden asked. Yes. Excellent. Let's try some stuff on. Can you help me pick out something to wear? Me? Dress you? I would love to. She loaded him down with all sorts of pants and shirts, even a dashiki, and sent him off to the dressing room. Let me know when you've got the first outfit on, she said through the door. Do the brown corduroy pants first. Those are the grooviest. She heard Aiden chuckle as she wandered back toward the front of the store. Several racks of necklaces and earrings had caught her eye when she first came in, and she wanted to go check them out. You have to accessorize, she said to herself, scanning the displays. She reached for a pair of daisy earrings, and out of nowhere a woman appeared behind the counter and grabbed her hand. Oh! Litty was startled. She dropped the earrings and jumped back, all in one quick motion. You scared me. Where'd you come from? The lady looked puzzled. I'm sorry? Oh, forgive me, ma'am, but I've been standing here behind this counter since you and your friend walked in. Litty had regained her composure by this point. She looked into the woman's face, and she noticed the high ponytail. Shiny blonde hair, she said, and then looked away. Sorry, you have pretty... The woman smiled and waited patiently for Litty to formulate a sentence. Litty stepped closer. You look like I know you. No, I don't. Litty instantly looked down and whispered, No, she doesn't. My name is Phaedra, but you... The woman picked up an earring and waved it back and forth inches away from Litty's face. You can call me ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Phaedra stroked Litty's face. You have beautiful skin, so natural looking. You don't weigh it down with a lot of makeup. That's good, especially in a swiftly aging woman like yourself. Litty struggled to look at her. She was trembling. Let me make you more beautiful for your friend, Phaedra said. Have some lipstick. She reached over the counter, grabbed Litty, and kissed her hard. Litty went limp and didn't fight it. Phaedra let her go and then stood back and admired her work. Much better. You need a little color. You're way too pale. Litty, Aiden called out from the dressing room. Are you still out there? These pants would look better with a belt. Can you please pick one out and bring it to me? Phaedra put a finger up to her lips and looked at Litty. Shh, I'll handle it. Litty stood in her spot by the counter in a daze. She said nothing as she watched Phaedra grab a length of hemp rope off a table near the shoe racks. She laughed as she approached the dressing rooms, doing something with the rope as she walked. Litty watched her with mild curiosity. Just before reaching the door of Aiden's dressing room, Phaedra turned back to Litty and held up the rope. It was tied into a noose. She flung it over the dressing room door. Aiden caught it and said nothing. No one else was there. The store was eerily quiet. Litty yawned and then appeared to be vaguely confused. Sleepy? Phaedra asked, walking back toward her. Well, that makes sense. You're a fairly boring person, aren't you? Litty nodded her head, her eyes wide. Fairly boring person, ma'am. She was unable to speak above a whisper. That's okay. You may not be very interesting, but we can at least make you look pretty. She walked right up to Litty and picked up one of the daisy earrings. You like these, don't you? They'd go perfectly with any hippie outfit. Litty nodded. Go perfectly. Yes, ma'am. Phaedra turned the earring over and frowned. Oh, no, Litty. They're pierced earrings. Look at the back. And you don't have pierced ears. Oh, darn the luck. Don't have pierced ears, Litty whispered. They heard Aiden fiddling with the dressing room door. Phaedra smiled at Litty and shrugged. It's okay. She held the earring up. They can still make you look beautiful. In a flash, she turned the earring with the post facing Litty. She jerked it down fast and hard, tearing a gash down the left side of Litty's face. Blood instantly rose to the surface and dripped from her jawline onto her shirt. Litty didn't move, flinch, or make a sound. Phaedra threw the earring onto the counter and sneered at her. Enjoy your party, she said, and vanished. Chapter 47. The look on Aiden's face when he came out of the dressing room and saw me was so scary. I didn't understand why he looked so horrified. He dropped the jacket he was holding and ran toward me. I felt something dripping off my chin. All I could think was that my face felt wet. Aiden ran his hand over my cheek and the wet feeling went away, as if he'd gone over it with a towel. Litty, what happened? I was so confused. What do you mean? I asked, more worried about his look of fear than anything else. I got water on my face somehow. He shook his head as he smoothed out my blouse. It's not water, Litty. It's blood. What happened to your face? I don't know what you mean. Aiden glanced over at the counter. The jewelry display was neatly arranged, with no signs of any struggle or anything. I felt my face where he'd touched it. It was smooth and warm. I came over here to look at some earrings, I said. That's the last thing I remember. I was just killing time until you got your outfit on. Are you in pain? No. Do you remember feeling anything before I came out of the dressing room? I picked up a small mirror off the counter and looked at myself. My face looked normal and I saw no blood on my blouse. There's nothing wrong with my face. Why were you saying there's blood on it? There was, Aiden said. I took care of it. He shuddered. You had an enormous cut down the left side of your face. Blood was it was all over. He looked away and let out a quick breath and then looked back at me. But you're okay now. He touched my chin, running his thumb down to my neck and shirt collar. You're okay. My outfit needed accessories, I said. I remember thinking about that, but I don't really remember anything else. Aiden touched his waist. You handed me a belt while I was in the dressing room. Noose, I whispered, and it surprised both of us. What? A noose. No, I didn't hand you anything. I was standing right here the entire time. Litty, you handed me this nice woven belt. He showed me the lovely tan leather belt. It did look good with the pants, but I'd never seen that belt in my life. No, I didn't, Aiden. I swear I didn't. Aiden looked around. Well, if it wasn't you, who could it have been? We appear to be the only two people here, which is odd. I could have sworn... He looked around. Hello? It's just us, I said. There's nobody here. Aiden went back to the dressing room and changed very quickly, Superman style. He pulled a large roll of cash out of his jacket pocket and placed it inside the cash register. Let's take our purchases and go. I don't think we should hang around here any longer. We headed back to my house. I felt a bit sick to my stomach over whatever had happened in that store. Not so much because it affected me, I had no memory of whatever it was, but because of how clearly shaken up it had left Aiden. I'd only seen him like that a couple of times previously, other than the day he staggered into my house and held onto my hands for dear life. That was really strange, too. During our time together in the Dalton Fisher Church, he seemed pretty well put together and composed most of the time, but I can recall a couple of incidents that did seem to leave him a bit rattled. Nothing was going right. He didn't tell me that, but he didn't have to. I could sense his confusion and frustration. It bothered me to see him like that. I stood in the kitchen and watched him frown at the contents of my refrigerator. Litty, honestly. He glanced back at me and then back to the shelves in the fridge. It's full of Slim Fast shakes and Diet Coke. Haven't you ever heard the saying, my body is a temple? Mine's one of those stucco prefab temples in Vegas, I joked. Let's just hope none of the true vegan living folks stop by for a bite. He closed the refrigerator and started looking through my kitchen cabinets. They die of shock, he said. The healthiest thing you have here is a jar of applesauce. How long do you expect to live on a diet like this? The tar in my cigarettes fills in the nutritional gaps, don't you worry. And don't go blipping a bunch of salads or whatever in the refrigerator. I like everything just fine the way it is. An apple or two occasionally would go a long way. Can I just at least... No, just come on out of there. Shut the cabinets and sit with me on the couch. You know we need to discuss what happened earlier. No sense putting it off. I walked behind him and discreetly touched the place on my cheek where I assumed the wound had been. It felt as if nothing had ever hurt it, like I imagined the whole thing. Aiden sat down slowly, almost cautiously. I know we can't ignore it, he said, but I'd sure like to try. That's not like you. You're typically the first one to confront things. Remember back at the church? You told me I needed to get my head out of the clouds. Stop using your head for a hat rack, you said, or something along those lines. That was rude as hell, by the way. He reached up and touched my face. I froze and lost every thought racing around in my mind. His hand caressed my cheek. He cocked his head and examined me for a moment. It looks better. It's fine. You're fine. I still have no idea how it happened, Aiden. Honest. If I knew, you know I'd tell you. He looked away, his brows furrowed. You shouldn't have to. Maybe we could just go on like normal, I said. What? Yeah, go on like normal. Live our lives, and if anything weird like that happens again, then we can get worried. This isn't the first thing, he said. You had an incident the first time I took you to Jerry's Gentleman's Club, and then you fainted in his apartment. Something's definitely... He stopped and just sat there staring at me like a computer that froze up right in the middle of something. I know angels don't have to breathe, but the way he was sitting, all stiff and still, it was like he was holding his breath. I waved my hand in front of his face. "Hello? Aiden?" I chuckled nervously. "Are you in there?" He blinked a few times and smiled. "Sorry about that. You're absolutely right. Let's carry on. Now for the dinner party. Wait, did we purchase anything at the Angry Aardvark?" "You put a bunch of money in the register for that stuff." I pointed to some clothes hanging on the coat closet door. "We literally just brought it in from the car. Your memory's as bad as mine." He laughed a bit too quickly. "I suppose it is." "All the accessories and whatnot are in a separate bag. It's on the chair by the front door. So yeah, as far as I know, we have everything we need. I just don't know when this fancy shindig's supposed to take place. Have you picked a date yet?" "Yes," he said, taking my hand. "You." "No, not that kind of date. I mean a date on a calendar. Like, are we talking about maybe one day next month?" "Why wait that long?" he asked. "We have our outfits. Why not do it this weekend?" "This coming weekend? Don't you think that's a bit of a short notice? His guests may have a little problem with that." "Leave everything to me. He smiled slowly. "I have a way with people." "I know you do. I've seen it. Okay then. We have a few days to get everything lined up, so we better get busy." He rubbed his hands together. "It's done. Now let's get back to the kitchen and discuss some better options for lunch." Chapter 48. Phaedra remained on the couch and watched Aiden and Litty go back to the kitchen. She glanced over at the clothes hanging nearby. "Tacky," she whispered to herself. Aiden was trying to talk Litty into trying out a juicer, and Phaedra had no interest in hanging around to hear that obnoxious conversation, so she returned to Jerry's apartment. Jerry was still up on the roof with his canvases and materials. He was studying a stapler that he'd placed on a nearby stool. The door to the stairs opened. Jerry looked over and saw his visitor. "Gabriel, you're back. Dude, you gotta come over here and check this out. Look, I'm like Rembard or whatever his name is." "Are you referring to Rembrandt?" "I guess. Anyway, check this shit out. I've done 3 or 4 paintings of different parts of Greensboro, and now I'm about to paint this stapler." "Why would you go from cityscapes to a stapler? That's odd." "I wanted to see what sort of style I'd come up with. Watch." He grabbed a brush, closed his eyes, and began flailing at the canvas. Gabriel had wandered off to look out at the city. Clouds drifted by overhead, and he looked at them too. One looked like an oak tree. Another resembled a horse. He yawned and returned his attention to Jerry's painting. Jerry finished with a flourish and opened his eyes. He stood back and gasped at what he saw. That literally looks like a photograph." He glanced at the paintbrush in disbelief. It was covered in red and black paint. "Like, how do you get a picture like that by painting? Nobody's going to believe it. They'll think it's just a picture." "Yes, it's amazing. Listen, Jerry, Aiden is planning on you having a dinner party this weekend." "Like this coming weekend?" "That's correct." Jerry turned to look at his painting again. "I wonder how many more of these I could get done before then. Hey, I could do a whole series of paintings on just office supplies. That'd go really well with the cityscapes." Jerry, really? He makes these decisions all the time without even bothering to consult you, and you're okay with that?" "Nuh-uh. Stop. Dude, I already told you, whatever problem it is you have with Aiden, I am not interested in going along with it. Or being mad at him right alongside you. You know what I mean? He planned it for this weekend? Fine, I'm okay with that. Really, why do you care so much anyway?" Gabriel paused and then looked at Jerry's painting again, actually studying it this time. "You're right," he said. "About what? That you bitch too much about Aiden and you really need to stop?" "No, this painting." He leaned in and touched it lightly. Jerry pushed his finger away from the canvas. "This painting really does look like a photograph. In fact, it looks so much like a photograph that I'd say it's no more special than a photograph. Why would anybody be impressed by a painting that looks like something you could capture in less than a second with a camera?" Jerry looked at him, suddenly deflated. But that's what makes it special, isn't it? Like, most people can't do something like this. And don't forget all my other paintings. They're all different styles. In fact, most of them don't even resemble this one at all, style-wise. All right, Gabriel sighed. No offense, but I could go into any coffee shop down the street and see paintings like that on the walls all day long. Thousands of starving artists, nobodies, have paintings that look as good as yours, if not better. Again, no offense. I know you don't want to hear this, but Aiden really let you down, Jerry. He gave you mediocre talent at best. The roof access door opened at that moment and Amber came out. Hey, babe, Jerry said, suddenly cheerful again. Come over here and take a look at this. Amber approached and gazed at the painting wide-eyed. Wow, that's so beautiful. It doesn't even look like you painted it. Did you paint it? It's like a photograph, Jerry said. Yeah, I don't believe it. Your talent is unlike anything I've ever seen. Ha! See? He turned to smirk at Gabriel, but he was gone. But you know how they put up artwork from local people in the coffee shops and stuff around here, like downtown? Yeah, she said. What about it? I mean, there's some good work out there. Really good. Do you think my paintings measure up to the... Are you serious? Amber asked. You're miles ahead of any of that stuff. Honestly, give yourself more credit. She walked around and looked at his other paintings. Just wait till the dinner party. When is that anyway? I think it's actually this weekend. Speaking of which, would you like to be my date? Oh, I'd love to. I want to be right there by your side when you show off your work. Oh, and the book too, Jerry said. Don't forget I wrote a book. Oh, that too. I'm so proud of you, Jerry. Awesome. It's a date. We'll work out the details in a day or two. It's awfully nice to see you, by the way. What brings you by? She dug in her purse and pulled out a pair of gold cufflinks. You forgot these at my place the other night. I wanted to make sure you got them back. He took the cufflinks from her, noticing the sparkle from the diamonds. Thanks, he chuckled. I'd forgotten all about them. I seriously doubt I'd ever forget something like that if I had it. He handed the cufflinks back to her and kissed her on the cheek. There you go, he said. Now you can loan them to me sometime, maybe. No, what? I can't keep these. They must have cost a fortune. He waved it away. It's nothing. Just let me wear them every now and then, okay? She smiled that beautiful smile, and Jerry got weak in the knees. How about some food? He stammered. Are you hungry? I could make you something to eat. No thanks, but I may go grab a bottle of water, though. I don't have any up here, but help yourself to anything in the fridge. You know where it is. I'll be right back, she said. Gabriel reappeared as soon as the roof access door closed. Well, well, well. She's making herself right at home, isn't she? He asked. And I'm glad, Jerry said. Maybe one day it will be. Gabriel shook his head slightly and clucked his tongue. I'd watch that one. Notice how quickly she invited herself to your dinner party and made herself your date? No, she didn't. She absolutely did. She's trouble, Jerry. I can feel it every time I'm around her. Jerry held up a finger in protest. And you were wrong about my paintings. She said they were amazing, the best she's ever seen. Way better than the coffee shop people. What did you expect her to say? Gabriel asked. She's buttering you up, trolling for cash, however you want to put it. She loves your money, not you. Bullshit, Jerry cried, spitting a little bit. Don't talk about her like that. She would never. You lived right beside her for what, 3 years? Never once did she give you a second look. She couldn't even be bothered to remember your name. I ask you, what's the one thing that changed before she started to notice you? The roof access door opened again, and Amber came out carrying 2 water bottles and a cheese tray. She was struggling with the tray, so Jerry moved quickly to help her. They sat everything down at one of the poolside tables and enjoyed their water and snacks. Amber discussed the crazy day she'd had at work the day before, and Jerry listened, but he couldn't stop thinking about Gabriel's question. Amber was mid-sentence when Jerry held up his hand. I was your next-door neighbor, he said abruptly, like right on the other side of the wall. Your living room wall, to be exact. Amber stared at him, confused. What are you talking about? I'm talking about me. I lived right there beside you for almost 3 years, and in all that time you never even learned my first name. You'd either ignore me completely every time you saw me, or you'd call me by the wrong name. I'm just... Wait a minute, she said, leaning in and looking in his eyes. That was you? That quiet, weird, dumpy, no offense. That was you? She laughed at the absurdity of it. Nuh-uh. I refuse to believe that. Jerry pulled his wallet out of his back pocket and produced his driver's license. Look here. He handed it to her. I haven't bothered to get a new one yet. Look at the address on there and tell me where it is. Amber read off the address. 201 North Elm Street, Greensboro. He snatched it away from her to read it. That jerk, he said. Damn it. Why does he have to be so freaking thorough? Who? He waved the driver's license at her. I didn't do this. He who? It was, Daniel, of course, my butler. He handles everything. That's who I meant. Your butler went and had your driver's license changed? Jerry sat there with his mouth slightly open, unable to come up with a logical response. He looked lost. I'm really confused, Amber said. You act like you're getting mad, like I hit on a sore spot or something. Did I come by at a bad time? No, forget the license. But yes, that dumpy loser was me. You always referred to me as Jimmy when you bothered to talk to me at all. You might say I've changed a little bit since those days. Amber laughed, a bit amazed. Yeah, I'd say. So I have a question for you, Amber. You really seem to like me now, but what's changed since my days at the apartment complex? She looked at him and thought about it for a moment. Perhaps a moment too long for Jerry. His insecurity prompted him to answer the question for her. It's the looks, he said, and the money. You're like a largemouth bass, no offense, attracted to shiny things. And that, my dear, is the only thing that's changed. I have never... Amber stopped herself. She took a deep breath in and then let it out slowly. Jerry sat there and watched her rise from the table, gently sliding the chair back in place. She rested her hands on the back of the chair and looked Jerry dead in the eye. You cocky piece of shit, she said, barely above a whisper. You really think so lowly of me as to say I'm some sort of a gold digger? Really? You think I'm the shallow one in this situation? All we ever do is things you want to do. You never care to hear anything about me and what's going on in my life. You don't know a damn thing about me. My friends, hell, my parents are starting to think you don't exist, like I made you up. You're always too busy to go with me to visit them. You haven't even met them yet, but I keep sticking up for you and telling them what a great guy you are. What an idiot I am. Aiden appeared on the roof as Amber was speaking. He felt the shift in tone and left Litty to come see what was going on. Jerry and Amber were unaware of his presence. Jerry's mind was spinning out of control. Help, help, oh shit, Aiden, help. His thoughts cried out for help like a silent prayer, but Aiden decided to merely stand by and watch him try to dig out of the hole he dug for himself. You think all that changed was the money, Amber continued. And the looks? Jerry added feebly. Money and looks, Amber shouted, slamming her fist down on the table so hard that even Aiden jumped a bit. That's twice as bad then, isn't it? I must be a special breed of bitch to only care about you now. Jerry stood up, reaching out to her, but Amber backed away. Amber, please, you took what I said. You forgot the most important thing about you that changed, she said. All your money, the body. That's nice, but do you know what really got my attention? You came up to me, shook my hand, and spoke to me. The man I met acted like he had confidence. But now I have to say acted because that was obviously fake. A big lie. You're a fake. A lie. And I'm out of here. She set the cufflinks down on the table, turned on her heel, and walked out the door. Jerry started to go after her, but Aiden's hand on his shoulder held him back. "Let her go for now," Aiden said. "It's going to be okay." Jerry turned to look at him. Tears were in his eyes. "I never meant for that to happen. I don't even know how we got here." Aiden nodded. "Things seemed to spiral out of control after you compared her to a fish." He stifled a smile. "I wonder why that is." Jerry grabbed Aiden by the shoulders. "Aiden, you've got to help me. You've got to fix this." "Will you agree to never call her a shallow gold digger again?" Aiden asked. "I'll never touch that subject again, I swear." "Then I can fix this." Chapter 49. Aiden rang my doorbell just before noon the following day. I opened the door, and he presented me with a turtle. Understandably, I was a little confused. "What am I supposed to do with that?" I asked, hesitant to invite him inside. "He's clean," Aiden said. "He's had a turtle-friendly bubble bath and everything." He held the little box turtle up closer to my face, and I took a half step back. "He wants a kiss! Come on!" I waved him away. "Ooh, no! I'm not up to date on all my shots. Quit holding it up like I'm going to make out with it." I turned and walked in, and Aiden followed me. He's very sweet. I bathed him myself, and he didn't even put up the slightest bit of a struggle. He was probably too confused to. I dug around in the kitchen cabinets until I found the giant Tupperware bowl that Grandma had given me several years prior. No young people ever actually purchase Tupperware. They get it when their parents or grandparents clean out their cabinets and give a bunch of it away. "Put it in here," I said, slapping the bowl down on the kitchen table. "I don't need it wandering off and get lost in the house. Like in a closet or something. Do you have any idea how much a dead turtle stinks?" Aiden chuckled and shook his head. "I thought you grew up out in the country." "I did, but we didn't allow—" I took the turtle from him and gently plopped it down in the bowl. "Freaking pond creatures in the house. It's just plain unsanitary." "Litty," Aiden pleaded in a phony, sad voice. "Box turtles don't live in ponds, and I told you he's clean. You don't—" I got a closer look at the turtle. Are his little toenails painted?" I looked up at Aiden. "How the heck do you get a turtle to let you paint its toenails?" He shrugged. "It's a turtle. They don't move very fast." "Do I have to ask the obvious question?" "Say no more." He pulled out a bottle of nail polish from his blazer pocket and wiggled it between his thumb and index finger. "I'll make sure you guys match." "No," I said, laughing. "Why are you here with a turtle?" "He's invited to the party I'm hosting this afternoon," Aiden said. "And so are you. Are you free?" "You did all the work I'm going to have to do for the foreseeable future, so yeah, I guess I am." "What sort of party is it?" "A turtle party." "No, seriously. I'm being serious." "Who's having a turtle party?" I thought about it for a second. Hang on. It's not some sort of dirty, perverted thing, is it? "Of course not. I'd never take Wally to anything inappropriate." "Who's Wally?" Aiden gestured to the turtle. "He couldn't go to anything like that anyway. He's underage." "So what's this party about then?" Aiden took Wally out of the container and set him on the table. I cringed. "It's okay. Let him stretch his legs a little." We watched him lumber diagonally across the table. Aiden gently turned him away from the edge, and Wally just kept going. "I swear turtles never stop moving," I said. "Where are they all going? They always seem to be headed somewhere." "The party's for Amber's niece," Aiden said. "She loves turtles, and it just so happens that she won her school's spelling bee yesterday. What better way to celebrate than with a turtle party?" I crossed my arms and gave him a look. "Did you rig that spelling bee?" Aiden looked down at Wally, feigning shock. "Did you hear that, Wally? Why, I've never heard such an outrageous accusation in my life." He glanced up at me and winked. "That's really messed up, Aiden. What about the real winner?" "Don't worry, the other participants are all invited to the party too." "Who knows, maybe quite a few unexpected guests will show up." "Who else did you invite?" "You'll have to attend if you want to find out." I clapped my hand against my chest. "You didn't invite Jeff Goldblum, did you?" He scoffed. "No way. I don't think I could bear to see your reaction. So, I zoned out for a second, watching Wally slowly move past a salt shaker. Can you give me some details about this party? Or some background? I don't remember hearing you mention it before. Why are we doing something for this kid? First, I need to know if you'll accompany me to the party. I pushed Wally's shell lightly with my finger to redirect him away from the table's edge. I guess so, but how? He gestured to the living room. Come sit. I'll explain everything. I looked down at Wally. What are we going to do with him? He'll be okay. No, he won't. Turtles can never be still. They're still for an awfully long time when they hibernate, Aiden said. Come on, I can't sit down and relax with a turtle walking around in my house. Aiden crouched down, eye level with Wally. He gently brushed over the top of Wally's head with the tip of his index finger. Slowly, I watched Wally's eyes close. He sank down onto the table and fell motionless. I gasped. What did you do to him? He's just asleep. Don't worry. He'll be fine. Let's at least put him back in the Tupperware container in case he wakes up, I said, and set it on the floor, maybe in here where we can see him. Aiden lifted him up and gently set him down in the container, and then placed the container on the floor near the sofa. How's that? It's better, thank you. He stood there in front of the couch, just looking at me with a little smile on his face. You really care about animals, don't you? Well, yeah, I don't want to see him get hurt. What about people? Do you have the same amount of compassion for them? Do you? I asked. Ooh. Aiden sat down on the sofa and patted the spot next to him. Touché. Honestly, I care for some people more than others, I said as I sat down. I care about good people, nice people, innocent people, but like serial killers, child abusers, people like that? Nah, not so much. He took my hand and gave it a squeeze. Some people are wonderful, he said. I drew my hand away under the pretense of adjusting the collar on my shirt and scratching a non-existent itch. I think you're pretty great too, I said, looking away. Compassion is a refreshing thing to see in a person, he said. It's becoming less and less common in my experience. Maybe you're just hanging out with the wrong type of people. There are plenty of kind-hearted people out there. It's not totally dead. Litty, please look at me. I suddenly felt like crying for some reason. Tears welled up in my eyes out of nowhere. It was an intense emotion that I didn't understand. I blinked hard and looked at him. It's okay, he said. It's okay. What's okay? He smiled. Everything. A sense of peace washed over me. It was like a roller coaster, but then that's a typical day with Aiden. He still had the ability to surprise me. Let me tell you about the turtle party, he said without missing a beat. Amber has a niece named Katie. Katie is the one who just won her school spelling bee, and nothing would make Amber happier than throwing a fantastic party to celebrate. And I know you want to keep her happy, I said. Yes, especially when Jerry goes and nearly ruins the whole thing with his big mouth. He did what? How did I miss that? I went to Jerry's apartment after leaving here yesterday evening, and I arrived just in time to hear Amber, what is it you call it? She was tearing him a new one. I laughed at his impression of me. Aiden, what the hell? You must have been practicing that. Maybe a few times. I've been saving it. That was pretty good. You went a little heavy on a twang, though. It's my job to help Jerry with his problems, whether they're self-inflicted or not. I had a big problem to solve, and voila, turtle party. That just sounds so random, I said. How'd you come up with it? I'm privy to a lot more information than a mortal. He paused for a minute and then chuckled. Well, before Google came along anyway. I knew that the most important thing right now is to both charm and impress Amber. Jerry's helpless when it comes to doing either of those things, so I was on my own when it came to solving this particular problem. I did a little research into Amber's family, saw that she's really close with her brother and her niece, and voila, turtle party, I said with a smile. He smiled back. Exactly. So what's this party going to look like? Where are we having it? Excuse me, where are you having it? He took my hand again. Oh no, you were right the first time. This is a we thing. I felt myself blushing. Without thinking, I went over and picked up Wally and sat back down on the sofa, holding Wally on my lap. Tell me about it. We're doing it at the Arboretum. The Arboretum here in Greensboro? Yes. Oh, that'll be nice. Do you know the big open area where the large wind chimes are? I do. They have some really big trees there. I haven't been there in forever. Are the wind chimes still up? They are. We'll set up the cake and ice cream there. Maybe a lemonade stand, too, nearby. You and I will be putting on a magic show for all the kids. You and I, like the two of us. Like me? Oh, no. You know I don't like getting up in front of people. And I don't know how to do any magic. Like I could just watch or gesture at stuff from afar. How about that? He looked down at the sleeping turtle on my lap and then up at me. Imagine what a magic show would look like with me in charge. He reached behind my ear and pulled out a quarter. And with you as my assistant, he threw the quarter up in the air and it exploded into 1,000 tiny butterflies. We'd be unstoppable. I gasped at the little butterflies overhead. I remember exactly what they looked like. Each one was pea-sized and they were purple and green. He snapped his fingers and they blew away like dandelion seeds on a breeze. It's not going to be a ton of kids, is it? I asked. Just a manageable number, 20 or so, plus the adults. It'll be fine. Do we have to go shopping for outfits again? Aiden looked a little hurt. Have to. Oh, no, not like that. I mean, it got kind of weird with my face and everything, but I didn't mean it like a dig against you. You're awesome, and I really love the stuff we bought. It's just, I don't know. No, it's okay, he said. I know what you mean. And how about we just keep it simple? Say we tell everybody to wear the same color. What color? He leaned in toward me and looked into my eyes for a moment. He smiled slowly and whispered, green. Like a green turtle? No. He brushed a wisp of hair away from my face. Like those little green flecks in your eyes. Little sparkles. They're so beautiful. I set Wally on the floor, suddenly unconcerned about his meandering. He was still asleep anyway, and scooted away from Aiden. Okay, I have to ask. What is this? I gestured vaguely to him, to me, and back to him. What are we doing? I don't understand. What are we, Aiden? You make these, I don't know, overtly flirtatious moves toward me all the time, and you look at me all gushy. He smiled and stifled a little laugh. Gushy? You know what I mean. I'm afraid I truly don't. Like lovey-dovey. Like I'm what? You're going to make me say it. Spell it out for you? Aiden looked down at Wally. Litty, I apologize. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Sometimes I may come across a bit gushy. He winked at me. I'm just curious about you and your life here. You're an interesting person, and I find you to be interesting. Hardly. Aiden, seriously, I spend most days totally alone. I write articles for a lifestyle that I find to be pretentious and shallow. I write a blog about loners that almost nobody reads. How's that for irony? The messages for greeting cards that I write are all based on dialogue from soap operas that I watched as a kid with my grandma, and my work deciphering technical jargon for the pest control people is maybe a year away from being taken over by a computer program. God, what is there to be interested in? You are not your jobs, he said firmly. Anyone could sum up their employment like that. Oh yeah, I said. Let's see you try. He sat up straight and adjusted his tie. Me? Yeah, let's hear it. I leaned back toward him a bit. See if you can sound like a bigger loser than me. Well, let me think. I went to war against God. Against God. I lost, as one would expect to. His smile had faded. He stared straight ahead at nothing, his jaw very tight. Others lost as well. They fought hard, rallied the troops as best they could, but in the end, we He stopped mid-sentence, then quickly turned to look at me as if he suddenly remembered I was there. We lost. We never stood a chance. Now we're forced to roam Earth and act as morbid military recruiters to try to gather up as many mortal souls as possible before God comes back around. He took a deep breath and exhaled as he added, before that final whistle blows and this whole game is over, whenever that will be. In the meantime, I'm separated from the ones I love, and there's not one damn thing I can do about it. The all-powerful Aiden Gervais is just a mid-level salesman with diminished power on a planet that hates him. Even you were shocked and repulsed by me when you first learned what I really am. You remember? You were my friend, and then you couldn't get away from me fast enough. Do you have any idea what that feels like? I sat there open-mouthed, feeling like the worst person to ever live. Words failed me. Is that a big enough loser for you, Litty? I could elaborate further if not. I stood up and just remained in one spot in front of the couch. Wow, I'm sorry, Aiden. I was just joking. I didn't really mean for it to get all serious like that. You don't have to go any further. And now I've ruined the whole mood of the turtle party and everything. Shit, Aiden. He looked up at me and watched me as I talked. When I sputtered out, he stood slowly and met me eye to eye. He touched my arm. You haven't ruined anything. But hey, if you're ever feeling down about your lot in life again, just remember one thing. You literally get to talk to an angel. That's pretty cool, huh? I smiled, feeling very relieved. Yeah, and we get to go on some crazy adventures too, though I can't exactly go around talking about them. Yeah, don't do that. Other people would get jealous. Or lock me away in a loony bin. How about you go upstairs and put together an outfit? And remember, make it green. Are you just going to hang out down here? He reached down and picked up the turtle. After running his hand across the shell a time or two, Wally began to slowly open his eyes. I'll be damned, I said. Aiden looked up at me and laughed abruptly. Hopefully not, he said with a little grin. Wally will keep me company. You go ahead. And we're going to stop there. And I'm going to mark my page so we can start on chapter 50 next time. There are a lot of chapters in this story. I thoroughly enjoyed writing every single one of them. And I didn't exactly know where this story was going. At this point when I was writing it, I had no idea where it was going. I had no idea how it was going to end. I didn't know all the twists and turns that were coming. And it was a thrill to discover it as it went along. It was a wonderful process, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I hope you're enjoying hearing it. We have a long way to go, but we've made a good start. We're 230 pages into it. So what is that? We're about a fourth of the way through at this point. And it has been really great. I've enjoyed reading it so far. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you come back again to hear some more. And I will see you again soon.